Okay, guys, I think GGG may have overdone this a little bit. Yo, what is up, guys? Joker back again with another video for the 3.23 Affliction League, bringing you another video. This is going to be going over how I think we are going to have the most player power we have ever had, and I'm going to explain why, right? In case you're unaware, transfigured gems are pretty much the main thing that's coming with the 3.23. And this is alternate qualities, lab enchants, and unique jewels smashed together, and they're pretty much redoing all the skill gems, right? There's going to be hundreds of these, and it's going to go ahead and change the quality of every skill gem, pretty much getting rid of all of the shitty qualities and replacing them with incredibly strong quality effects. Some examples that you're probably familiar with are like the tornado shot, right? Where the free secondary projectile is no longer a helm enchant, it is now part of the jewel itself, or like the lightning arrow, right? Where it's going to strike two additional enemies. And while that is very cool, my attention got drawn to some of these more broken skill gem qualities while I was filming my last video, which is like a 35-minute video that I'm not going to put up because one, it was 35 minutes, and two, I decided to make this instead anyways. So let's get into it, right? Things like any of the generic mine and trap skills have some pretty nutty effects because, like Icicle Mine, as an example, fire two additional projectiles, which is cool, but when you scale it with things like Dialas and Enhance, and we have Awakened Enhance now, and Ashes, dude, even Crest of Desire, which I was thinking for like Lightning Conduit, right? Because it's not only free double damage, it's 5 to 8 levels on the skill gem and 50% quality. Well, what does Lightning Conduit's quality give me? Lightning Conduit's quality gives me 4% more damage per 5% shock on an enemy. Okay, this isn't going to be 4 though. This is going to be what? 30 plus 50, 80. So it's going to have 100% quality. So it's going to be what, like closer to a 12 or 16 times more multiplier for 5% shock. And it's easy as fuck to get a super high shock effect. Let's say, even as a bare minimum, I'm only shocking bosses somehow with all the new tech we got and everything. I'm somehow only shocking bosses for like 25 or 30%. That's still like 60% fucking more damage on top of an already cracked skill, Lightning Conduit, where its base damage is already super high and it's going to be doing double damage because of Crest of Desire. Right, let's take a look, right? Let's say we have a level 21 corrupted lightning conduit, and we get it, what, plus 8 plus 9 because of the ashes. So it's going to be a level 30 lightning conduit. It's going to have 1100 to 3300 flat lightning damage on top of the skill innately having 10 to 20% more damage with 5 shock, on top of it doing double damage, on top of crits, on top of anything fucking else. And that's just using the Crest of Desire, right? That's not even using any skill, any support gems, right? That's just using this and having pretty much a one link that's going to do a metric fuck ton of damage, because when you take into consideration it's going to be like 60% more damage, and then it's going to be double damage, and then it has the potential of crit, and then how high and how easy it is to already innately scale shock, it's going to have a flat 3k damage. I could have almost my skill tree unspec'd and fucking one-shot things with this, dude. But let's move away from the lightning conduit crest of desire example, right? Let's move into some of the other skills. Bone shatter, right? Bone shatter's new thing is going to be come on, show me bone shatter. 1% more damage per trauma, except for it's not going to be 1% more damage per trauma. If you have Diala's enhanced ashes, any of these things boosting the quality, you're going to get closer to a 2 or 3% more damage per trauma. And on average, with Bone Shatter, I looked at a bunch of Karin videos and a bunch of league starts since I'm not like a Bone Shatter player. That's on average with like 20 stacks, 25 stacks, 60 to 75% more damage. And this is just from the quality. That's not even taking into consideration. I'm pretty sure trauma gets, yeah, Bone Shatter gets more damage on its own per trauma stack. Yeah, it's double dipping, dude. It is literally more damage on top of more damage. We are going to have hundreds of percents of more damage in this league. If you suck at making a build, you don't have to worry because you're just going to have enough damage to face roll everything. Another example I saw, right? Blade Flurry. I know people use this. I was trying to grab skills that I know like I've seen people use, right? I think it was some kind of weird ass build with General's Cry that used this, but still I've seen people use this. So 20% more damage with hits for end elements for each stage. Okay, so that is just the jewel itself. If we go over here, Blade Flurry. Where you at? Blade Flurry. Uh, go up one. There we go. 5% more damage. So it's an additional 5% plus you're going to scale it, so it's going to be more like 20%. So with the skill itself, you're going to be hitting, I don't know, 40% more damage with hits and ailments per stage. And I think it stacks up to 10, does it not? I don't blade flurry, so I don't know. Okay, it looks like it stacks up to 6. So what is that? Still 4 times 6, 240% more damage, dude? Are you kidding me? I think I got put off on a tangent at some point. I could have swore I initially started this talking about mines, but mines and traps because they're going to be incredibly nutty with it too, right? Like as an example, icicle mine, 2 projectiles. Okay, but that's not going to be 2 projectiles. That's going to be probably 6 additional projectiles. Plus, when you throw into consideration things like Nimbus that make the projectiles return, on top of traps and mines rearming themselves. Where's my? I think it was lightning. I think it was lightning trap or something. Let me. Oh, actually, while we're here, Stormblast mine. Each mine has pretty much going to be 3 or 4% damage taken up to a max. Oh, well, that one caps, so that's a bad example. I was looking for, you know what? No, it was a trap skill. It wasn't a mine skill. I think it was like lightning spire trap that yeah, 15% chance for traps to trigger in additional time. Okay, well, when you multiply this by like 3 or 4, you're gonna have like a 60% chance for traps to trigger in additional time. Shit, just put lightning trap in your fucking crest of desire. Not only does it get a shit ton of damage, let's go to a level 30 lightning trap, and it is going to be doing double damage. It's going to have pretty much a 60-70% chance for it to go off twice, and you're going to be throwing multiple of these. Oh, and I didn't even know that. Lightning Trap is also a projectile. So you know what you do on top of that? You slap a Nimbus on it, and then all the projectiles come back to you again. You know what? I'm just reading this now too. Chance for traps. plural. Okay, so let's say you throw out 4 traps. Even if each one does roll independently, then it is going to be 60% chance, 60% chance, 60% chance, 60% chance. And I'm pretty sure each one of those will have a chance to trigger it. Just saying. So it is going to go ahead and be insane amounts of burst damage. Obviously, in these examples, you are locking in a lot of your items and choices, right? Like if you plan on doing this, you kind of do need the ashes, you need an enhance, you need Dialas, but that's not really true because you can do anything. You can do the Crest of Desire, you can do just the ashes. The 30% quality is still doubling the effect. It's still flat out doubling the effect. Even if you just wear an ashes, this goes from a 15% chance to a 30% chance. Everything that I mentioned, the 1% damage on trauma goes to 2% more damage. Everything still doubles with you just wearing an ashes. Or shit, if you throw an enhance into your build, even a level 4 enhance just doubles the chances of these. You can have an enhance in a skill link and wear an ashes, and that literally triples. So 45% chance for traps to double. Obviously, this is going to be very situational, but you could always do a skill gem swap for bossing and have a different setup for mapping. But this seems like a lot of player power. And I think people are starting to realize because I've seen a couple of videos. I think I've seen like 1 or 2 videos of people actually talking about the quality and the effects, but most of people are just skimming over it. They're not really like kinetic blast, 1 explosion for the quality. Okay, throw on an ashes and put enhance in that skill link. You now have 3 additional explosions per kinetic blast. Let's say you throw out 6 projectiles. What is that? Fucking 6 projectile, 18 additional explosions? Are you kidding me? Okay, and as a last example, because I'm not familiar with this skill or if these all would stack like this, but kinetic bolt, right? 50%. Okay, times it by 3 because of the ashes and the enhance. 150% of increases and reductions to spell damage also apply to attack damage. Well, kinetic bolt already has 200%. So you're already at 350% attack damage, I'm sorry, 350% spell damage as attack damage. Throw into consideration things like fucking Crown of Eyes. Is this going to stack on it too? Are we going to have a 500% spell damage as fucking attack damage kinetic bolt? Because if that's the case, you just get a cluster that has 12 nodes of spell damage, and these are all 50%. This is what, 50 times 10, 500% flat increased damage. You just fixed your increased damage problem already. Just get a little bit of more damage and you get to do, I don't know, fucking bajillion damage for no reason. I don't I don't know about this last example because it seems a little stupid, right? Where they're going to have like a 500% thing for increases and reductions to spell damage for attack, right? Like I don't, I mean, kinetic bolt is kind of a shitty skill to use anyways, so it would bring it into viability if 500% of the spell damage uh if 500% of the spell damage applies to attacks. I'm just saying, because what kind of, ooh, and you would just have to get a really beefy wand, which is going to be super easy to craft anyway. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to end the video. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future videos, because As of right now, this looks fucking stupid. So I see before Thursday GGG walking some of this back. If not, this is going to be an incredibly fun league with just all of the damage